Hey guys, what's up? Alex2K here. I'm continuing this tutorial with the nose. The last mesh we had, I had done a couple of extra edges here. I just changed them up. I deleted an edge, this edge loop, and instead of having two there, I just had one now. Simplified the shape a little bit, and just modified its form. If you need to modify the form, something you can use is if you press B as in boy, it's gonna change your tool to the smooth modification brush, and if you keep the B pressed and just drag, you can change the ratio of that so it can be bigger and smaller. So you can modify some edges with the follow, so it's or vertices or whatever. So it's a pretty handy tool to modify anything you need to, but we might get in detail that in that later. Just wanted to bring it out for now. So let's start working with the nose. Nose is a little bit complex, but as you can see, what I just did was pretty much get the base except for that nose area where the nostril is mainly. And what we're going to do is there's different ways of approaching this. I personally like to make a poly face there. It's going to be like an inside face. And once I get that, then it's just like doing like a puzzle type of thing where you just have to take your edges wherever you want to and try to keep everything quads. So let's go ahead and do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by just deleting that half because we don't really need it for now. And we're going to use with the create polygon tool and snap to vertex. I'll just show my wireframe here. Snap to vertex, and I'm just going to snap, 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 snap. Then once you're done, press enter, and you got this, which kind of like a noseless guy, but you got both meshes. So once you got both, you can combine them, and always check your normals. And as you can see, that face is heading in the wrong direction, so I'm just going to select it and reverse it. Now that that's reversed, face normals hide, and I'm just going to assign my modeling shader to this as well. And again, press insert and snap the vertex there, the pivot, I'm sorry, and duplicate special. And so we got something that kind of looks like that, kind of like the guy. I don't know, it sort of like gets that feel for the guy from that movie, Harry Potter, the bad guy, he has no nose type of thing. Anyway, so that's our starting point, and this allows us to, go ahead and add edges wherever we want to get the shape across. So let's make this transparent, and we're gonna take our edges based on the flow. So we know that this guy is just pretty much gonna end up around there. Let's try this one more time. There. Can't you just hate it when that happens? Let's do it the other way then. There we go. Sometimes it gets spooky. So we got an inside face there, but no worries, because if we actually do this, then we have, let's do it again, then we have two quads, and there's a shift in direction there. So again, this shape will keep changing and being adjusted as I go adding more edges. So here we got a basic flow there, and now what we need to do is we're going to add another one down there to define the tip of the nose. So let's come here and define the tip of our nose. And again, as you can see, there are some offsets. So if I put this down there, then it's not matching on that view, and if I put it up there, it's not matching on this view. So just understanding the shape or having better laid out image planes will be helpful. So we need to add a couple of extra edges here, and we can just do one so we don't worry about the rest for now. And as you can see, they're not merged. Actually, I think that's where my problem is. I created it and I combined it, but I never actually merged it. So I'm just gonna select this guys and merge them. So now everything should be nice and dandy. Let's see, that's working, that's working, that's working, and this is working. There we go. So we just added this extra edge right there to help us define that form. I'm just going to keep it here in the middle, and eventually if I need more I'll add more, but the idea is to try and keep it, remember, the least amount of polys possible. So we're just defining the overall shape here, and we can do that there, and then take this guy down there and take that guy down there. And if you can hear music in the background, it's because I'm hearing music in the background. I guess it's better for me to work like that, hopefully. Although if the song is just yelling, then it might get annoying. But anyway. So there we go with that part. And this would probably be here in the front. And then I'm just gonna split one more time from there to here, and look at this on the perspective view. And the phone's ringing. I'll be right back. Hey guys, what's up? After the phone rang, I had a cigarette and I came back here. So let's just keep going. So I'm just bringing that up there and just looking at the shape and see what we're getting. Let's make this transparent, and we sort of want this to be broader and this to come in closer, and this guy there, like so. So we're getting that basic shape in that area. There we go. Now let's move this here to a little bit forward. Let's try and maintain the curvature of his nose there. And little by little, it begins to get shape. You can add an extra edge there. I'm just gonna do that to round off a little bit that nose. So you can see how little by little he begins to have some form. So we just have a try over here, and that end side polygon, but that end side polygon is pretty easy to fix once we add the nostrils. Okay, so now we're going to add this nostril area, and there's different ways to go about it. One easy way to go about it is to select the face and simply extrude it in. You know, it depends on the actual nostril how you're going to be forming it, but you want to make the main outline of that nostril there. There we go. And if we look at it from the side, it's higher than what it should be, but you know, we already talked about the fact that these guys are not really lined up, so we're just gonna have to figure out what that represents here in the side view. And then I'm sort of like doing that same nostril just a little bit higher up. Yeah, I would say that works. And I'm just going to delete a couple of faces there. And we're going to have to redirect this here. If we use the split polygon tool, right now if I want to redirect this over here to the side, see how it's snapping to the edges? If you double click on that tool, on the split, you can split only from edges and use points. I'm going to uncheck both, and what that does is that it allows me to pretty much do a redirection here, that type of thing. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to undo that there, and I'm going to get rid of this guy, and just take this up here and then over there, which allows me to do either this or that. I'm going to do this because I think it flows better. And push this guy up a little bit over there, and just going to add an extra edge there. So as you can see, this is how that shape begins to get, redrawn to work. Now let's put this in perspective here, and I would probably end up being like up there, and probably be a little bit higher up there. And I can actually just do this here, which if I delete this, then that's a quad, but I just want to have it there to define the form. And therefore I can do that. So there's his nostril. And little by little it's going to form. And just going to delete this edge as well. I'm just going to take this one over there. And then add an extra point there to redirect that. and I can take this there, and therefore take this over here. Or better yet, do that. There we go. So I'm just going to merge those two and delete this. And delete that as well. And I'm going to end up having to redirect that loop over there. And I know that's a spiral that I'll be having to fix in a little bit. But I can totally do this. And just going to merge this. Delete that edge. I'm just doing some cleanup there to keep everything plots. And just going to redirect this over here. So far so good. So let's select this and let's just extrude this in and up like so. Now I'm gonna have to adjust this form a little bit. And what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to add an edge loop in there and another edge loop out here, and then I'm just going to delete this edge loop so I can get some curvature there. And we got this inside polygon there. It's kind of annoying. Just merge this and that, and then this and that. And delete that edge over there. And then delete this one there. And a loop. So from there on is just changing that form. Just gonna try and make it a little bit more natural there. So as I said, the rest is just tweaking. Let's move on to this area. So there's a couple of things that we need to fix here. We got this, which is heading really into nowhere, and we got this, which we sort of like extended. It's sort of like gonna end up giving us a spiral. As you can see, they're both finishing in the same place. So let's try and fix that. If we do that, then we can do this, which might be something to do, or we can delete. I might want to start here. Okay, so this guy probably needs to go on there, and if that happens, then this would have to be shifted over. And therefore we can actually redirect those to come over there. And then we can just have an extra edge coming in here to the inside of the eye. So that's one way to fix that. Another way would be to, rather than doing that, extending this up. That's another way of fixing it. Another way yet is to merge these guys, and therefore merge those guys, and therefore merge those guys. So as you can see, there's a lot of different ways, and each one gives a different topology. So it really comes down to the form that you're doing. In this case, I think I'm just going to stick with this. I think it works well because this is all really going up into his nose. And right now they're getting too close. So what I do a lot of times, just to simplify the shape and even it out without having to manually go in and even everything out, is to use the sculpt polygon tool. And on the sculpt polygon tool, switch it not to smooth but to relax. And if you're relaxing, you can change the opacity so that it's not so intense. And as you can see, his shape gets a little bit smoothed out. So the edges balance themselves out. You don't want to do it. You don't want to go crazy with this, but in some areas that might take too long to manually go in and move every CV, then this is a pretty handy tool. And besides, eventually we'll go back, and that's when we'll really start sculpting the form. Right now we're really more concerned about the flow of the edges rather than the shape itself. Okay, so we got that. Now we can just extend this edge loop and give it form, of course. Remember that every time you add an edge loop, you should go in and adjust its form. And I'm just going to go ahead and start redirecting this a little bit down here, or not. I don't know. Let's see. That's fine. And then do just get the split. Just gonna make a split there. And you can go seeing how little by little it begins to get form. You know, little steps at a time. Like I said, the main thing you want to have is the flow, because that's really what dictates how his muscles are going to bend once he goes into a facial deformation. And because each face is different, you know, the flow is, there's probably some standards, but you know, pretty much in my experience at least, every time it's different. So I like to start from scratch every time rather than using a default basic mesh. Okay, so you know, if you need to, you can totally go ahead and add an extra edge loop or an extra edge, if you wanted to. Let's see. Maybe not. Maybe we can just adjusting this and playing with it, so that we get a little bit of a nicer curvature here on his nose. So I'm just going to begin to spread these guys out here. I know that this is not the nose, this is just tweaking, but I want to get it in here so that, you know, at least you know that, you know, modeling is not like just to make a perfect mesh out of the blue, unless you're like insane. And I know that some people are, but I'm not insane. I'm just crazy. But anyway, so you know, there's our basic form for that nose. And like I said, our focus right now is mainly just getting the right loops and the right flow for his face. It's starting to get there where things are flowing up, really high up actually. They're supposed to go like insane up. So we'll keep working with this, and I'll keep adjusting that flow until things begin to flow nicer. So anyway, I'll see you in a little bit, I guess. This pretty much takes care of that nose, and I know I keep taking my voice down and down and down, but that's probably because I begin to get concentrated and I cannot do two things at the same time. So it's pretty hard for me to talk and do at the same time. So you have to bear with me from every tutorial on. So till next time.